Hey folks, Michael Mann with Michael Mann Security Services. Welcome to the Executive Protection Association of Middle Tennessee, Soft Skills in Executive Protection. And this presentation is on the soft skill of protection management, or this is a basic asset protection model that I'm going to apply to close protection or executive protection operations. Okay, so let's get started here. So let's talk about asset protection, how this applies in executive protection or close protection. An asset is just anything that has a positive value to its owner. And so here, if we're talking about the owner being our client or being the principal, we talk about people. So people here could be the principal himself or herself, the principal's family. It could be board members if we're protecting them. So that is one level or one piece of asset or category. Facilities would be another category of assets. Facility could be the workplace of the principal. It could be the residence of the home or some other small business that the principal owns or operates, and we're in charge of protecting it. Equipment could be, really in this case, the equipment that belongs to the principal. So it could be vehicles, it could be other expensive equipment, or it could be equipment that belongs to the team, expensive things like our vehicles, our firearms, so maybe some of our technical surveillance countermeasures, equipment, sweeping equipment. And then, of course, any kind of process that may be expensive or that may hold some sort of a value specifically to us. That could be how we do our personal security vulnerability assessments, our risk assessments, maybe scheduling. So those are processes that mean something to us, or they hold a value. And then, of course, information, our information, which is classified or not really classified, but should be protected, or information that is protected and that is very important to the principal himself or herself. Okay. So as we get into this protection management piece, there are some basic dimensions that we apply to our soft skills that make us successful. All right. And those three dimensions in protection management are going to be our ability to have a technical expertise, our ability to manage, and of course, those people skills that we have. And so let's get into that just very quickly. What is technical expertise? Well, that is our knowledge as protectors, and very specifically here, our ability to manage this. So our knowledge of those protective disciplines and the ability to apply them. So do I know how to do a personal security vulnerability assessment? Can I document that? And then can I submit that and make sure that that document is going to help the operation be successful? Do I know how to write a security plan? Do I even know what a security plan is? And can I write those in a way to where everybody can understand them? And again, it's going to help our operations be successful, which, end result meaning that we safeguard the principal. Advances, can I do it advanced? Do I know the different types of advances, whether that's, a remote advance, the on-site advance, what does that mean? And of course, can I apply them at any time? Protective detail operations, not only operating inside that protective detail, but supervising or managing that detail, and recruiting. Am I able to recruit talent? Executive protection is a very specialized field. A lot of people don't realize that we only think of hard skills like shooting and fighting, but really, man, it's a thinking person's game like any security discipline. And so when we recruit, we want to recruit, those very skilled folks that can apply those skills to help us be successful. So are we able to go out and get really good talent? And then, of course, there's the management ability, and that is leadership style. Number one, what is my leadership style? Can I walk into a room, give direction, walk out, and expect those directions to be executed and followed 110%? So the mission is accomplished, right? So the person that we're trying to protect, or the equipment or those assets, are safeguarded just based on my direction. If I have a new team, or I have a couple of new team members that maybe are lacking in a couple skills, like maybe they haven't done a lot of advances, can I be able to go in and participate in the advance a couple of times, show them how to do that, and then walk away from that, and then walk away knowing now that those new team members know that skill and they can apply it, and we can be successful. What if I'm sick? If I'm the manager, can I call the detail leader and say, hey, I'm going to be out for 3 days, and based on that, delegate my responsibilities to that detail leader, and have that have that detail leader lead the team or manage the team, and still have a successful protection operation while I'm out. And then we get into cross-functional abilities. And so, in protection, and we're going to talk about this in a series here in a couple of weeks, cross-functional management. Maybe I'm not just managing close protection or executive protection. Maybe I have to manage a small physical security guard force at the office, at the principal's office. Maybe, it's a small contract. They've only got one or two officers there, but somebody has to manage it. And maybe that comes to me. If I've got close protection and we have residential protection at the home or at one of the residences, or maybe at several residences, maybe that's my job also to manage the residential security. Maybe I also need to manage a budget. So do I have cross-functional abilities, and what does that look like? And again, does that go back and does that add to the success of the mission? And then, of course, last but not least are the people skills. Am I effective at communicating, not just with the team and not just with the principal, but leaders throughout the organization, other people that I'm going to have to deal with? And so what is my communication style? Am I directing or blaming the things I learned as a police officer or maybe in the military before I came on and started doing protective services in the private sector? Or am I persuasive, and do I have a problem-solving form of communication or communication style? And am I able to resolve a conflict? And that doesn't just mean I'm able to, if I see conflict that's about to take place with somebody that has a problem with a principal, not being able to only just step in and stop that conflict and resolve that, but resolve conflict amongst the team. If I have two executive protection specialists that don't get along for whatever reason, but they're both awesome at their job, can I resolve that conflict so we can be successful at the mission? And then, of course, my ability to persuade and influence others. This really gets into dealing with the organization, the principal's organization. Some things I've experienced in the past, managing protective details is sometimes the gatekeepers or the key holders don't like to give up itineraries in a timely manner. So do I have the ability to persuade that key holder, that gatekeeper, to give that to me so we can be successful? Okay. All right, so I hope that helps. A very quick skill on asset protection or protection management. Hey, if you want to get a hold of us, you can get us at contact@michaelmannsecurityservices.com, or you can call me anytime at 615-956-3912. And remember, folks, it is about prevention, not response.